Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking an absolutely massive shift in modern cybersecurity. We're looking way beyond static walls and diving into exactly how organizations are building unbreakable cyber resilience through red, blue, and purple teaming. Right, so how do you actually know if your defenses work before a real attack hits? It's kind of a terrifying thought, right? So many companies out there rely on static defenses, legacy firewalls, standard antivirus, and they kind of just cross their fingers. But let's be real, hope isn't a strategy. Relying on static defenses against today's evolving threats, well, it's basically like locking your front door but leaving every single window in the house wide open. Okay, here is how we're going to break it all down today. First, the red team playing offense, followed by the blue team playing defense. Then we'll get into the perfect synergy of the purple team, look at the Lumiverse solutions approach, and wrap the whole thing up with achieving true cyber resilience. Let's jump right into Section 1, Red Team Playing Offense. So, a red team assessment. This is all about simulating actual, real-world attacks to push the absolute boundaries of an organization's defenses. To be completely clear, these aren't just your standard automated vulnerability scans. We're talking about highly experienced professionals deploying the absolute latest, most advanced vectors used by actual cyber criminals right now, all to expose those hidden vulnerabilities. The attack lifecycle usually goes a little something like this. First up is surveillance, gathering data to find those sneaky entry points. Then comes exploitation, which is the actual breach itself. But step 3, post-exploitation, is where it gets super fascinating. This is where they try to maintain access, escalate privileges, and move laterally across the network just to see how deep the rabbit hole really goes. And finally, reporting distills all that chaos into actionable insights you can actually use. Moving right along to Section 2, Blue Team, Playing Defense. Now, on the flip side, we have the Blue Team Assessment. This is entirely focused on evaluating and dramatically improving defensive capabilities. It's not just about installing some new software. It's a really comprehensive look at incident response procedures and your overall security architecture to ensure the organization can actually survive in an ever-changing threat landscape. The Blue Team's arsenal, well, it goes way beyond just setting up firewalls and hoping for the best. They are actively conducting deep vulnerability assessments and penetration testing to find those infrastructure weak points before the bad guys do. They simulate security incidents to see if their procedures actually hold up under heavy fire, essentially proving they can detect an anomaly, contain it quickly, and minimize any potential damage. Which brings us to Section 3, Purple Team Perfect Synergy. Historically, the industry had a pretty major problem. These groups operated in total silos. The red team ran offensive attack simulations, the blue team managed the defensive controls and responses, and they rarely ever spoke to each other. The defenders didn't always understand exactly how they were breached, and the attackers didn't stick around to help rebuild the wall. That massive knowledge gap absolutely had to be bridged. Enter the Purple Team Assessment. This literally bridges offensive and defensive security directly. It takes the live, controlled attack simulations of the red team and marries them with the defensive strategies of the blue team, right there in real time. It's a total game changer. The real magic here? It's the feedback loop. Because these teams are collaborating continuously, there's this non-stop exchange of information. Red says, hey, here is exactly how we bypass that firewall. And blue says, awesome, here is how we are tuning our detection for next time. Add in tabletop exercises, and you drastically improve decision-making during high-stress incidents. Essentially, you practice together, so you win together. Let's look at Section 4, the Lumiverse Solutions Approach. So looking at how a specialized partner like Lumiverse Solutions structures all of this, we see a highly multi-layered attack strategy. They deploy complex attacks across both the network and human elements. Through real-time feedback workshops, they utilize a threat-informed defense model, meaning the scenarios are heavily tailored to specific industry threats to implement strategic risk relief for both immediate, quick fixes and your long-term security architecture. And finally, Section 5, Achieving True Cyber Resilience. The long-term benefits of this multi-layered approach, they go way, way beyond just reducing data breach risks and increasing audit confidence. Interestingly, the source material notes that organizations consistently find the cultural shift to be the absolute most valuable outcome here. It creates a shared responsibility where security is no longer just the IT department's headache, it becomes a massive organizational priority from the very top down. The data tells a really compelling story here.
Organizations running regular team exercises experience a massive improvement in the mean time to detect and respond against security incidents. That is the core takeaway. The faster you detect and the faster you respond, the less damage is done. And collaborative assessments are absolutely the key to unlocking that kind of speed.
So I have to ask, are you waiting for a security incident to expose your vulnerabilities? Because honestly, if you are, it's already too late. The cost of a major breach far, far outweighs the investment in proactive resilience. The time to test your locks is right now, today, before the threat even arrives. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning and stay secure.